rid of it, I feel better. So yesterday we were talking about limiting beliefs and where we get them from and why we have them. But today I want to make this all about you. Today we're going to look at the root causes of your limiting beliefs, where you got them and why you keep them. And you see, we learn what we live. You probably don't know that half of what we learn in our whole life we have learned before the age of 5. And so if before the age of 5 your mum opens her purse and she hasn't got enough money, or you see your mum juggling between buying food or heating, and when you need new shoes, your mum gets really stressed because she can't find the money. We say, I can't find the money. We don't have the money. Your little brain is already shaped at 5 to believe that you can't find the money. You know, my brother went to a fee-paying school and I didn't. And what was so interesting, my brother's fee-paying school, when they learnt math, they would say something like this: you have 5 businesses, and when you sell 2, how many have you got left? Well, we know the answer is 3. But at my school, they said, you have 5 apples and you give 2 away, how many have you got left? That may sound silly, but look at that deeply. At his school, he was taught, even at 5, you own all these businesses and you sell 2. Now you have 3 left and lots of money. I had 5 apples, I gave 2 away. I was in deficit already. And so private fee-paying schools do something very different in that they teach children to expect wealth. They come from the mindset of wealth. And other schools aren't wrong. It's just interesting that we learn what we live. We learn what we live. What did you live in your formative years that gave you these scarcity beliefs? And here's something even more important. The human mind loves what is familiar. And guess what? It wants to actually go back to what is familiar. You'd be amazed at the amount of lottery winners who haven't had money, who go bankrupt after winning millions and millions of dollars. I've worked with many of them, and they all said the same thing. I didn't really like having that money. It made me uncomfortable. I didn't know who my friends were, and I've got rid of it. I feel better. I worked with 2 different rock stars who were both making more than $4 million a year, probably about $8 million, because I'm doing this in sterling because they were English. And when their career ended, they had no money. I'm like, how could you have no money? They went, well, you know, when I was growing up, we always ran out of money at the end of the week. My dad got paid on Friday. By the following Thursday, there was no money left. And we didn't invest. What's investing? We didn't put it in the bank. In fact, my dad gambled, so my mum had to spend all the money, so there was none left for him to gamble. Or my mum bought all the food early, so my dad couldn't buy any drink. And that's what's familiar. So I spent it all. I bought cars and homes and properties and other homes I never went to, but I spent it all. And I learned a lot from those rock stars who were brought up without money, because what was familiar to them was spend it all until it's gone. And then when you get more, spend that all until it's gone. Because that's what their parents did on a low paycheck. There was nothing left. And so they had nothing left. So I want you to look at what is familiar. A lot of people find it very vexing. They go, surely your mind doesn't like that. The mind loves what is familiar. Because if you went back thousands of years, keeping familiar was how you kept safe. You didn't wander off to meet a new tribe. You stayed in a walled city. Everything was the same, and it made you safe. And guess what? All these years later, your mind has the same belief. Same old, keeps you safe. We call it our comfort zone. It's not a comfort zone. It's the mind's wiring, a belief that says if you stay where you are, you're safe. But you don't need to be safe. You need to be excited, to take risks. So I want you to think about you, your beliefs about abundance. Let's look at some beliefs now. Do you believe, I can never get that job because I don't have the same education? I can never find the person I want because I'm not tall enough. I don't have a six-pack. I can't get promoted because I didn't go to college. You see, these are beliefs, they're not real. If we look at some of the amazing people who are phenomenally wealthy today, like Mark Zuckerberg, he made his wealth very young. He didn't go, I don't have enough experience, I don't have a university degree, I'm not from a blue chip family. Everything we thought was true in the last 10 years has been turned on its head. There are people like Elon Musk, who we look at and see, well, wow, they didn't come from a blue chip family. They maybe didn't have the kind of background. So if you're blaming your education, your community, if you're blaming your height or your shape or your size or your accent, don't do that. Look at Oprah Winfrey. Look at Tony Robbins. Look at people who show you over and over again that wealth is not about where you went to college, what your education was like. It's not about how tall you are. It's about your belief system. So today I want you again to really think about your beliefs, and let's go over them again. And as I'm talking to you, I want you to make this about you. Do you believe your background is stopping you from having the wealth and abundance you want? Do you believe what you look like is in the way of you having the career success that you want, or the relationship success you want? Do you believe that looking after your body is too much like hard work and you don't have time, and you come from a family where everyone is heavy, or everybody drinks, or everyone's Italian and so they don't have any patience? Do you say things like, all my family were manual workers, so I could never do that? We've always lived in a small village and I wouldn't even know how to make it in the city. You see, these beliefs aren't true. For every belief you have, I could smash that out of the ballpark and show you someone. Look at Adele. Did she say, well, you know, I'm not a size 4, how can I be a pop star? No, she smashed it. Do you think Ed Sheeran said rock gods don't have red hair? Of course he didn't. Do you think Kevin Hart said, I'm too small for women to find me hot? I don't think so. There are examples everywhere that will shatter your belief, but you don't need an example. You need to shatter it yourself. Challenge your belief. Question your belief. When you question it, it no longer becomes true, because your beliefs are not real. They're not based on fact. Your beliefs exist only in your mind. That's actually quite good news, because it's very easy to change your mind when you know how. So something I call the luggage of life. You know when you're traveling, you've got this massive bag full of stuff, half of it you don't need, and it's a real pain because you've got to lug it around with you and you wish you'd left half of it behind. But we have another suitcase we carry around full of old stuff, old beliefs, old thoughts. I want you to imagine you've got this enormous case full of limiting beliefs that you drag around behind you, carry everywhere you go, and it's a real pain. I want you to take that suitcase, put it at your feet, open it up, and I want you to take all the beliefs out, and I want you to hand them back, and I want you to say, look, mum, dad, teacher, grandparent, first employer, these are your beliefs, not mine. You said I'd never make it. You're wrong. You said no one in our family has ever been independent or had their own job. You're wrong. You said I'd never find love because I come from a family where everyone's divorced. You're wrong. Hand that back. Even imagine taking this massive bag of stuff and giving it back to the person who gave it to you, saying, by the way, I think you left this behind, or, hey, this is not mine, it's yours, let me return it to you, or, I've been holding on to your stuff for so long and it's just cluttering up my life. I don't want it. Give it back. And as you give it back, feel that feeling of immense liberation. And don't have to carry the weight of those limiting beliefs that were never mine in the first place. I've returned them to the person that gave them to me. They're not mine. That's not me. I don't want them. And now you're free. So let's go on to the exercises. And this is really important because this is exactly how to change beliefs. Challenge them, take a good hard look at them, and then realize they only exist in your imagination. You see, I want you to really challenge your beliefs. So write out all the beliefs you hold about you. I can't make it because, finish that sentence. I can't be wealthy because. I can't have the love I want in my life because. And then write out another because. And also because. I can't have an abundant mindset because no one taught me how to have that. Well, I'm going to teach you. I didn't learn it. You're going to learn it on this quest. I can't have health in my life because it takes too much time. I come from an obese family. I only like fast food. I don't know how to cook. You can come up with a million excuses, a million reasons. But as you write them down, look at them again and say to yourself, why am I believing that? That was true when I was 5. So look at your beliefs. And when you've looked at them, look at them again. Because here's another question. Who taught you that belief? And what did they know anyway? You know, years ago when you got a job in a factory, you were set for life, but that's not true anymore. It used to be that working for yourself was risky and working for someone else was security. That's not true now. You're much more likely to get rich working for yourself. Who taught you your beliefs? What did they know? Where did they even get those beliefs from? Who taught those beliefs to them? Why are you holding on to beliefs that you picked up when you were 3 or 5 or 6 or 10? Why do you still have those beliefs? You make your beliefs. Your beliefs make you. It's time to make your beliefs about abundance amazing, powerful, phenomenal, transformational. Let's start. It's really important to go to the tribe and share stories. We love stories. You know, stories are how we learn. That's why TED Talks is so effective. And if you share a story, like say you said in the tribe, you know, I've just remembered that when I didn't finish my food, my mum would get really upset and say, I can't even afford that food. And you wasting it is making me so unhappy because I scrimped and saved just to buy that food for you. And now you've got a belief, oh, just having simple things means scrimping and saving. If you share that story with someone, you help them learn from you, and then they're going to share stories. When you share stories, you get onto people's brainwave, and they get onto yours, and we learn the most through stories. So go into the tribe, share your stories, share your beliefs, share how you are eliminating, eradicating, shattering those beliefs, and putting in their place much better ones.